This is Morning Juice. Sports, insight, and great storytelling. Starring Bobby Carpenter and Jeff Tito Thitoff. It's time to attack and dominate.
Well, welcome into Morning Juice on this Monday, December 1st. Big college football weekend, big NFL weekend, over the weekend. Some fun stuff. And, Bodie, you were out. You had to be feeling pretty darn good, though, with the results for your
Bob.
teams.
First off, Thanksgiving Day. You know what? Let's go ahead and just fire off Jimmy Johnson right away here.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah!
Cowboys might be good all of a sudden, Bob. Offense looks pretty good. George Pickens is still amazing. CD came back. Defense held Patrick Mahomes and company in check a little bit there. Shout out to Rashee Rice. He was really good for 3.5 quarters. Had a nice drop on fourth down, though, there. Or maybe it was third down, but nevertheless, Cowboys got the job done. Then Saturday night, a very sleepy Bodie Wells hung in there until 2 a.m. to watch the Irish
God bless you.
annihilate Stanford. I was so tired yesterday, Bob. I woke up at 10 o'clock, and that was the first time I've slept in till probably past like 7:30 since, I guess since May, to be honest with you. But how was your weekend, Bob? I have to imagine. Did you go to the game on Saturday?
I did not.
Okay.
I do not enjoy
Avoided
going.
the snow.
Well, it's not even the snow. I don't really enjoy going up there. And
I don't blame you.
It's not a rivalry thing. It's just the fact that I don't enjoy that stadium, like, to be in there. My parents always hated it when they would go up to watch me. And there's about 110,000 people that fill that thing up, and there's 40 entrances, which sounds like a lot, but that's about 2,600 people through each entrance. And so it takes forever to get in and out. It's brutal. And so I've never been up there since I've been done playing to deal with it. The walking, the parking, just how it's all set up. I've just never really been a fan. And so there was a ton of Ohio State fans up there, which I could not believe.
Yeah, a lot of red.
It looked like there was probably 15, 20,000 people. At a minimum, probably 10, but I would say on the high end, maybe 15 to 20. Pretty darn impressive. We saw that, and we'll get into a lot in the game. Indiana Hoosiers 56, Purdue 3, Texas 27, A&M 17 in one of the bigger upsets of the day. Georgia Tech unable to pull off the upset against Georgia. They fall 16-9. Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin's last victory with the Rebs, 38-19 in the Egg Bowl. As well, and then obviously Ohio State downing Michigan 27-9. Texas Tech over West Virginia in a big way, 49-0. Oregon playing tough there with Washington for a little bit, pulls away 26-14. LSU down, losing to Oklahoma.
That was the one that could have thrown a monkey wrench in that whole thing there. Them and Auburn. It was another anticlimactic college football weekend, unfortunately. Auburn and LSU try to give a Bama and Oklahoma run for their money there. But, yeah, it seems like – yeah, go ahead, Kurt. I kind of cut you off on the scores there. But not a lot going on in terms of the college football playoff. Feels pretty kind of sort of set.
Well, and that's what's interesting. I know we'll get into all this, but you had Vanderbilt and Texas both get pretty big wins, like substantial wins, double-digit wins.
Yeah, Vandy hammered Tennessee.
Hammered them, and then Texas just beat the number 3 team in the CFP rankings by double digits. And so when you see that – people are like, well, they got to put him in. I'm like, but who lost?
Yeah, who are you taking out?
That's the thing.
There's still only 12 slots.
And it's really only 10.
Yes.
You talk about having 12, but it's really only 10 because the ACC, and now Duke is going to be playing in the ACC championship.
Get the Blue Devils in there.
Who ended up losing to get them in?
SMU lost to Cal.
That's right.
At the last, they had a huge comeback. How in the world, California, who lost to Stanford a week ago, how that happened, I'm unaware, because Stanford is not a very good football team nor a program. They've been struggling mightily in the last handful of years. But rivalry games, you throw the records out the window. And then 7 days later, they end SMU's ACC title and playoff.
All they had to do was win and you're in.
Yes, just win a game at Cal. Can't imagine that's the most daunted road test either in the country, going to California.
No,
now, hey, and it's not even cross country. It's not even like they're a typical ACC school. I mean, that's Texas to California there. What's that, 2 time zones? So,
oh, yeah.
But
But it's amazing that happened. The Ponies fall short. Pitt, that's what they needed to have happened to get in, but they unfortunately fall to Miami 38-7 in a game that was never really all that close. That you mentioned Bama defeating Auburn 27-20, and Notre Dame downing Stanford in a big way 49-20 as well. So it was just pretty darn amazing to see all of that happening and everything that went down. And just a reminder here that Morning Juice is brought to you by Riverside Bank of Dublin and Event Risk Elite Planning. So go check them out. But without any further ado, let's get to Today in History.
Time to get smarter. Morning Juice presents Today in History. Here's your professor, Bobby Carpenter.
Oh boy, it is Monday, December 1st, the final month of the year.
It's the season to be merry, Bob.
That's what they've been telling me. Is that Mary, M-A-R-Y, or
That's my name.
M-E-R-R-Y?
No kidding.
The 335th day of the year, 30 days remaining in this 2025. This date, 1824. No little presidential election news. No presidential candidate receives a majority of electoral votes. And so when that happens, Bodie, do you know what happens?
I have no idea.
Well, it is thrown to the House of Representatives, where they ultimately elect the president. It happened one other time in the election of the second president, I want to say 1800. It was with Thomas Jefferson and Adams and everything. Ends up getting thrown in there. I believe it goes to Adams, and then Jefferson ultimately takes it. This is for the sixth president of the United States. John Quincy Adams defeats Andrew Jackson, Henry Clay, and William Crawford in the House of Representatives. This date, 1862. In his State of the Union address, President Abraham Lincoln reaffirms the need to abolish slavery in the United States. And people were thinking, well, it's during the Civil War. Isn't that what the Civil War was about? Well, yes, the Civil War was partly about that. It was mostly about the succession, but there were still people in the United States at that point, and even in the North, that didn't really care particularly about slavery one way or another. Well, I mean, that's okay. Whatever.
I know. Yeah.
It wasn't in their backyard, so it didn't bother them. And
I think we got that one right, though. Eventually, it took us some time, but
history usually
we landed that plane.
Yeah, history usually will figure it out for you. This date, 1875. Rutherford B. Hayes has the first telephone installed in the White House. Or do you know what number Hayes was? I don't have it off the top of my head.
Yeah, it's somewhere in the teens. I want to say it's 19, maybe.
Give me one
about right.
second here. Let me see if I can rustle this up. Bodie, you nailed it, sir. He was number 19. Good for you. Well done on that. This day, 1957. Buddy Holly and the Crickets perform for the first time live on national TV via the Ed Sullivan Show. And then a rough day in the United States. In 1969, December 1st, a nice little Christmas present for you. Maybe not. The first draft lottery occurs since World War II.
The Draft Lottery, a live report on tonight's picking of the birthdays for the draft.
And now a page from our Sunday Morning Almanac, December 1st, 1969. 50 years ago today, the night of America's first military draft lottery since 1942. With the war in Vietnam as a backdrop and the futures of some 850,000 young men on the line, the lottery featured a bin containing 366 capsules, one for each possible birthday. The order in which their birthdays were drawn from that bin would determine the order in which those young men would be drafted. First chosen, first to serve. Congressman Alexander Perney of New York drew the first number.
September 14th.
Capsule by capsule, date by date, the board filled up.
That doesn't seem like a fun time, Bob.
No.
Can't imagine
usually-
watching that and thinking,
Yeah.
please will say August 9th. Please will say August 9th. Please will say August 9th.
Usually, you get excited a little bit, but it's like when you don't, like when you get drawn for something and your birthday gets up there. I don't know if that was quite the same excitement level that you were going to get. My dad would say it was crazy. You'd sit there and they would literally pull out and read off birthdays.
Yeah.
And not an exciting thing at all. This date, 1984, Chrissy Everett wins her 1,000th professional tennis match. 1990, the Chunnel. Do you know what the Chunnel is, Bodie?
I have no idea, Bob. When you sent me that email, I almost wondered if you meant to say channel and misspelled it, but nope, not a clue.
So the Chunnel is a tunnel that goes
Okay.
under the British Channel.
Okay.
Therefore,
Channel.
the Chunnel, they started digging from England, they started digging from France, and they met, like, I start walking one way, you start walking mine. We meet in the middle underneath the British Channel, not that old Georgia pine. So they dug from each side, and with that, today was the day they connected them, and then they started laying the track, and there is a subway, if you will, that connects Great Britain to the rest of Europe.
Right on.
Took them
awesome.
quite a while to do it, and I think they actually, it's remarkable they're able to do this. It was pretty, I mean, I don't think they were even off by that much. Coming in, you gotta think you're digging 40 miles underwater, under the ocean, if you will.
Huh.
So, yeah, we can call it the British Channel, but it's part of the ocean with all that. So, yeah, they were connected today and then en route to connecting those. And it's wild. It was a big deal when they finally got all the track laid and everything through there. So you can ride a train now under the British
How
Channel.
about
1991, 1 year later, Dan Marino throws for 3,000 yards for the 8th time, at the time, an NFL record. I know that
Is that even that's like a bare minimum nowadays.
Oh, yeah, it sounds... Yeah, if you're not throwing for 3,000, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, you're probably not either starting the whole year or just not very good, frankly.
Yeah, that's pretty darn amazing there. 1996, Wayne Gretzky becomes the first NHL player to record, to record and reach 3,000 career points, which is still, I believe, a record. I don't think Ovi broke that, just the goals. He had obviously a number of assists as well. And on this day, 2019, the coronavirus outbreak starts as it escapes the Wuhan lab. It took about 4 months to really get over here in a big way, Bodes. But, yeah, it was on its way, rolling out of the lab at this point.
I cannot believe that's been that long ago now, though, at this point.
The fact that,
I mean,
6 years
that's
is
crazy.
It is pretty crazy that it has been 6 years now since that ultimately transpired. Some birthdays today. Singer Lou Rawls, born on this date, 1933, 40 million records sold, and one of his big hits, You'll Never Find Another Love Like Mine.
But I know somehow, someday, someway, you're gonna miss my loving.
How about that? Little banger going on right there. Born on this date, 1939. Lee Trevino, turning 86 today. How many majors do you think Lee Trevino won?
I think it was 4 or 5. I was looking at it this morning.
He was 6.
6, okay.
He
Never
won-
won the Masters,
never won the
but
Masters.
won 2 of the other 3 each time.
Yes, he won them all
Yeah, if I
twice
say that
outside
right.
the Masters.
Yeah.
Lee Trevino, with this birdie putt at 18, would give him a round of 69. A new PGA record of 15 under par, and the first champion to ever shoot 4 rounds under 70 in a PGA championship and win, and you ought to kiss that putter, Lee.
Yes, there were 2 winners at Shoal Creek in August of 1984. The proud state of Alabama and the popular Mary Mex, the 66th PGA champion, Lee Buck Trevino.
Lee Buck Trevino, how about that? Also born on this date, 1940, lost him unfortunately in 2006. One of the great funny men. He was prominent in being Eddie Murphy, talked a lot about him. Mr. Richard Pryor.
I stopped drinking. I used to drink a lot. Stopped. Been 7 months. That's a strange It's really strange. Huh? Oh, you don't have to. I know you ain't gonna believe it because you fucked up. I don't. Hey. No, I just thought I'd try that for a while, after 20 years. Give yourself a break. I'll probably die tomorrow. Trying to slow down, But it's different. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't do that. He was fairly profane. I was curious what you were going to pull out of there, Bodie.
It took me a minute to find more than like a 10 to 15 second clip because there was a lot of profanity. And I don't mind dropping, a couple bleeps in there, but once there's like one every 5 to 6 seconds, it's like, we got to move on. Also had some, he leaned into some racism and stuff like that.
Oh, it was amazing.
Sure.
He was so funny.
Yeah, he was. Very funny guy.
But yes, maybe not fully appropriate for air
Yeah.
all of the time. Other birthdays today. Eric Bloom, the lead singer of Blue Oyster Cult, turning 81. There we go. How about that? Turning 81 as well, John Densmore, the Doors drummer. And turning 80 today, the famed Bette Midler. Old Bette Midler, one of the good ones here. Born on this date in 1949, passing away in 1993. One of the legendary drug kingpins himself, Mr. Pablo Escobar.
Pablo Escobar made $60 million every single day during the peak of his empire in 1989. Started as a streetcar thief, became history's richest criminal, worth $70 billion adjusted for inflation. His first major hustle was stealing tombstones, sanding off the names, and reselling them. At 26, he was moving 70 to 80 planes full of cocaine to America daily. Most insane part? He spent $2,500 monthly just on rubber bands to wrap his cash stacks. When his daughter got cold one night while hiding from police, he burned $2 million just to keep her warm. He killed over 4,000 people, including 200 judges and 1,000 police officers. Had his own prison built to his specifications. It had a nightclub, soccer field, and waterfall. The government let him because he threatened to kill their families. He offered to pay Colombia's entire national debt, $10 billion if they gave him immunity. They refused. His operation was so massive, he lost $2.1 billion yearly to rats eating his stored cash and water damage in his stash houses. Even bought his own airport just for cocaine flights. When he died in 1993, they found secret rooms filled with gold bars, empty vintage wine bottles worth millions, and letters from presidents thanking him for campaign donations. Still to this day, people randomly dig up his cash stashes in random locations across Colombia.
There you go. People's champ. Some would call him a conservationist as well. He brought hippos to South America.
Nice.
Have you ever seen there's a documentary on him? So obviously there were no hippos in South America, and some of his money he wanted to bring in some exotic animals.
Hey.
And he brought in 4 hippos, and they lived. They had like a zoo. He had a zoo, and they were along the river, like one of the tributaries of the Amazon, and they started breeding. Now there's like a population of like 50 hippos that live there.
So hey, it all evened out in the long run.
Yeah, I mean the guy is just doing good things for the planet. All good stuff. I'm curious to see the cut you pulled, and I didn't want to throw anything in here for you, but current Delaware State head coach and former Philadelphia Eagle, Washington Redskin probably at the time. You played for anyone else?
Not that I know of off the top of my head. Those two are the first two that I think of.
Yeah, he may have had a year somewhere else in there as well, but not the biggest guy in the world, but one of the fastest receivers in the NFL. turning 39 today, Mr. Deshaun Jackson.
Last week, good, tough third down receiver. McNabb loading up deep for Deshaun Jackson.
Yep.
He hauled it in. Oh, wow. Did he get over the goal line? Did he get over the goal line?
You might not have.
Touchdown. Whoa. 61 yards. Hang on a second. We got to make sure he broke the plane on that, guys. And the Cowboys, I think, might challenge. Oh, it is very close.
That is close.
And it's a great dance, but it's also one of the all-time bonehead plays, if that did happen. And Wade Phillips is now asking Terry McCauley and the referee if that, in fact, can be challenged. Let's take a peek here. I saw it live, and it didn't look right, and you just can't do that. Now, he has been explained to us as he is very cocky. He's very self-confident.
He's very self-confident. 8 years in Philly, 3 in Washington, couple in Tampa Bay, 1 with the Rams. I don't know if that was still maybe St. Louis at the time or
what year?
Or no, yeah, that would have been 2021. Yeah, sorry.
He's
Definitely LA. 1 with Baltimore.
Wow.
I don't remember most of those years, frankly, but
dude could run.
He could,
incredibly
yeah.
fast. Incredibly fast. Some passings today. Passing on this date, 2023. The first female U.S. Supreme Court Justice, Sandra Day O'Connor. And then in 2012, the longtime Utah Utes coach, Rick Majerus, rather robust fellow back in his day. Some holidays observances. It is Antarctica Day. It is Cider Monday. Drink some cider after Thanksgiving. Also Cyber Monday, if you will. Get online.
Get the deals.
Get the deals. Are they deals? No one really knows, but you feel better about.
If it says 30% off, makes me feel better.
Exactly. National Christmas Lights Day, National Pie Day as well. And those, your historical events, your birthdays, your passings, your holidays observances for this date, Monday, December 1st, the 335th day of the year, 30 days remaining, and a big happy birthday to my son, RJ, turning 16 today as well.
One of my favorite Carpenters. Well done as always, General. Bill Benner joins us next. Morning Juice.
Your child is sick. With those 4 words, the innocence and joy of childhood disappears. But Starlight has taught us 4 other words that make all the difference. The power of play. Happy kids heal faster. That's why Starlight Children's Foundation delivers happiness through gaming, toy deliveries, and more to hospitals across the country. Learn more at starlight.org.
You know a thing or two about the moments in life that matter. You've seized those moments to embrace joy, accomplish great things, and build meaningful relationships. Is it time now to sit back and reflect on a life well lived? Maybe. Or maybe there's more to be done. Maybe this is the most important moment you've encountered yet. By volunteering with AmeriCorps seniors, you can seize the moment, lend a hand, and get back more than you give. We connect you to local volunteer organizations with opportunities that fit your schedule and match your interests. Through AmeriCorps seniors, you can support people in times of need and make your community stronger. You can become a companion to your older neighbors, brightening their days with friendship. You can even become a mentor for young people, serving as a role model and enriching their lives. Are you ready to seize your moment? Visit AmeriCorps.gov/yourmoment and get started today.
Your child's oral health milestones matter. By age 1, see a pediatric dentist to establish good oral health habits. At 7, see an orthodontist to check your child's bite, teeth, and jaws. Around 15, visit an oral and maxillofacial surgeon to have your child's wisdom teeth examined. Remember, milestones met, healthy teeth set. Visit milestonesmet.org.
Hey Max, you look absolutely dashing in that purple tie. Ready to harness the world?
You bet, Daisy. I'm ready as I'll ever be. And might I say, your purple tie really pops with your vest.
Thanks. I almost went with a cape, but didn't want to come across as pretentious.
Nonsense. Anyone in our line of work should rock a cape.
You might be onto something, Max.
Phew, so here we go. First day on the job. We've got this, right?
Right. Don't forget, we both graduated from Dogs Inc. with honors.
Which means I can guide my human around a busy city with ease.
And I can give my human a restful night.
I hope my human is kind and loving.
And I hope mine likes wet kisses and zoomies.
Ready to make a difference?
Born ready. Let's go.
Discover how extraordinary dogs like Daisy and Max change lives at no cost to the recipients. Visit dogsinc.org.
One man is a national champion, NFL veteran, and local business leader. The other man is Tito. This is Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
All right, Morning Juice. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Welcome in.
Thank you, Bodie. This wasn't a Wednesday in July. It was a throwaway game up in Rochester, right? This was the Monday after the game. So thank you to all the Juice for being here. Now we're going to bring in Bill Bender. Bill, on time. I love you. Good morning, Bill. Hope you're having a great day. I'm curious, this game with Ohio State, what was your, did it play out the way you thought it would?
Got no sound.
Is this me? Is this me?
Yeah, we got
God,
no
hope it's me.
snare in the headphones.
Hang on, Bill. Just a second.
Oh, I'm on. I was
are.
on mute. So
Oh.
Monday mistake number one.
Number two. No, number two. It's number two. It's mistake number two, just so you know. Your first mistake.
Not for you.
Well,
Yes.
oh, coming on here, first mistake.
No, first mistake is me
absolutely
being
not.
late, but go ahead.
Early start, obvious. Well, speaking of the first mistake, Ohio State makes out of the go with the long run, sets up a field goal, interception, sets up a field goal. But I thought what Julian Sayin said in the post-game press conference, no panic. He was amazing on Saturday. He was efficient. He was accurate. He was all of the things that really make him the Heisman front runner. And he's from California. The cold weather wasn't a thing. Even afterward, he was very chill, I guess would be the word. And I thought he played a fantastic game at the position where you need it. And it showed, as I wrote afterward, that Ohio State knows how to use their five-star quarterback. And I don't think Michigan has that figured out with Bryce Underwood.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting, obviously, to see. Michigan coming in, this wasn't last year. There was a 6-5 team or whatever coming in. This was a team that was ranked 15th in the CFP. Surprising, Bill, to you, just how – I don't term dominant, but just the game control for Ohio State. Once they were able to score and get the lead, it seemed like they were able to dictate really the pace and tempo of the game to where, it wasn't that they just blew them out, but it didn't really feel like Michigan ever really had a shot there in the second half.
No, especially after the late touchdown to Ennis to end the first half. And then, you have a 20-play drive in the second half. I really think Ohio State got the best of both worlds. They made the big plays in the receiving game with Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate. I know we had a little bit of a debate about whether or not that was a touchdown. It was a touchdown. That's the way I'll put it. I mean, I've seen transfers with the ball 100 times going across. He had possession of the ball. I really didn't think much of it. So, and then defensively, they just dominated to give up 9 points, 3 field goals. I thought that first, after the interception, when they limited Michigan to a field goal there, that was telling. Had Michigan gone up 10-0 there, maybe there would have been a little bit of panic on the sideline, but there was no reason to have that. It was a great effort by the defense.
Bill, you say, debate about, we have no debate it was a touchdown. Des Bryant, who's producing the show today, also said there's no doubt it was a touchdown on that play by Jeremiah. But so now as we look at this going forward, do you think it's set in stone? Set in stone's the wrong word. Do you think it's likely that the Heisman comes down to what happens on Saturday?
Well, I mean, first of all, with the Cowboys fan in the studio, we're not sure that Des caught that ball against the Packers,
Bill.
are we?
You won the game.
He only caught it.
But Des absolutely caught
We're not
that
sure.
football.
We're not sure if he caught it 2 or 3 times on that one. That's what I always say. But as somebody who was tortured by Dallas as a kid, I wasn't real worried about it there. Second one, the Heisman is very interesting to me. I think it will come down to Julian Sayin and Fernando Mendoza in this Big Ten championship game. And is it going to be a defensive struggle? Because both of these defenses are really good. Or if Sayin does what he did Saturday, I think that would be enough to win the award. I know Jeremiah loves making a late push. Diego Pavia deserves to be a finalist at minimum, how he's carried that Vanderbilt team to 10 wins. And I think those will be the 4 guys in New York.
Looking around at the other events of the weekend, coaching movement excluded, anything surprise you of how some of those games looked, or the Texas over A&M, the Vanderbilt, in the manner of which they were able to beat Tennessee, the way Miami dominated Pitt?
Yeah, there's a couple debates that are really going to get hot this week. One, Miami Notre Dame. We're going to have to do that for another week because it may be the last playoff spot. 2, the absurdity of a 5-loss Duke team being in the ACC championship game. I saw Nicole Auerbach tweeted about how if she were the ACC commissioner, she would consider overriding the tiebreakers and putting Miami in. I agree with that take. I mean, at some that would be what would be best for the conference, to have Miami and Virginia and Charlotte, quite honestly. And then what do we do if Georgia punishes them in the SEC championship game and beats them and gives them a 3rd loss? Is that enough to drop them out? Because the last couple weeks, Alabama has not looked the part that they did maybe a month ago. And I think that's another – I don't think they'll be left out, but it's worth talking about.
Yeah, it certainly is. That's a good point. Good.
Do you believe, Bill, speaking of that there is a possibility that Kalen DeBoer is in the running for the Penn State job?
I know it's pure speculation, right? But think about it. What if that was the case? It's not absurd to me in any way. And you think about it, remember back in week 1, Bobby, we were trying to fire Kalen DeBoer for losing to Florida State. And I think Penn State, he'd be a hit there. And I think he would do a very good job there. And a lot of the chairs have been filled at this point. There's rumors about Bob Chesney, who's in the Penn State candidate list, going to UCLA. And I think Bob Chesney is going to do well wherever he goes. They're a 3-touchdown favorite in the Sun Belt Championship this week. So I do think that's an interesting layer to this. I mean, would you really leave Alabama for Penn State? That would be the first question asked. But maybe some of that residual effect of early in the season when he's on the hot seat, people were saying, what if he loses to Auburn? Those kind of things. It's a high-pressure job. I think it's actually less pressure at Penn State.
Bill Benefit joins us right now here on Morning Juice. I'm curious your thoughts on Michigan State and Pat Fitzgerald. It seems like that's a really good get for Michigan State.
I agree. And Pat's been out of the game. He's one of the classiest guys when he was at Northwestern. And you forget that he coached for so long after Randy Walker passed away. You're like, is he like 50, Tito?
Yeah,
I don't have it in front of me.
He's young. You got to think. He's like Fickle's age. They played against each other. I mean, I'm not exactly sure, but he was that mid-'90s Northwestern run, Bill. So, yeah, that would put him in early 50s, I would imagine.
Yeah, and he's coached a lot of football, and I think he has a lot of football left to coach, knows the Big Ten, always maximize the talent out of those Northwestern teams, and I think there's a little bit more at Michigan State. That's a program that Mark D'Antonio proved that when you have that edge and you recruit the right guys and develop them, that you can win big there. And I would not be surprised if Pat Fitzgerald followed a similar arc, and as one of the true nice guys in the sport, it's glad to have him back in the Big Ten.
He turns 51 tomorrow. Bob, just so you know.
Gosh.
Yeah, 51 tomorrow.
Well, birthday present. I love that hire, though, at Michigan State. I mean, I think that is a home run. He's the type of guy that they ultimately need. They're a good program builder to give them the structure they had with Mark D'Antonio. There's a quote out of the new Batman series. Either you die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Did Lane Kiffin go back to being the villain again?
Yeah, I've watched that Batman movie about 100 times with Harvey Dent. I had this debate last night. Look, I understand why he's going to LSU. I think it's the program, the resources, 3 of the last 4 coaches have won national titles there. He should do well there. And I also understand that this exit was going to be clumsy no matter what. Bobby, I'll hit you back with a quote from Cocktail when he said, everything ends badly, otherwise it wouldn't end, right? So this one ended very badly, from the airport on. And I understand. I just wish the calendar was such that he wouldn't have to not coach in the playoff. But we all saw that coming, with signing day coming up. Are you really going to let a guy say he's going to finish out the season at Ole Miss when signing day, and how important it is in the SEC and the Big Ten he's going to be coaching? I don't really know. I guess Ole Miss and LSU are rivals, but either way, it's a program you're competing with for those recruits every single season.
Is this going to be the impetus to kind of get the calendar back to where it needs to be? I know that everyone loves the portal. Everyone loves it. Coaches wanted to get people in there for as early as possible, but this seems like now is the time where, you know what, let's kick signing day back. If we want to do like a before the season signing day for early guys, that's fine. And then why don't we kick everything back to December or February, portal in May, and then we don't necessarily have these issues where people are having to make these ridiculous choices.
I agree with everything you just said. The summer portal or the summer signing day, so kids can actually enjoy their final year of high school and not have that pressure decision and those kind of things. The regular signing day, which used to be like a super event. I remember we covered it so much differently back when it was signing day in February than we do now. We're kind of like, oh, the playoff just happened, or the Michigan game just happened. Oh, signing day's here. I'd lose track of where it is on the calendar. And then the portal being in one instance, I think would be a tremendous help. And I know you want guys in there for spring football, but I just think it would be better to have one. And that way you can have coaches make more educated decisions. We've said all along that this is going to be more like the NFL. Well, the Titans aren't hiring a coach yet, and the Giants aren't hiring a coach yet. You can't. You have to ride it out with your interim coach, and they have to finish the season. I just it is unfortunate for Ole Miss. I still think they're going to host a home game, and what a surreal experience that's going to be without Lane Kiffin there. And by the way, Ole Miss or LSU plays at Ole Miss and at Tennessee. So if you're a security guard out there, you can apply for that job. He's going to need more than one.
So speaking of that, Bill, now I'm wondering, people are saying, oh, well, Florida State got punished when their quarterback went. It was a 4-team playoff back then. It was 4 teams. So that's why Florida State got left out, because they were probably 5th after losing their quarterback for the season a few years back. LSU or Ole Miss might get punished here a little bit, but it's not like they're going to miss the playoffs. They're still in the playoffs firmly. I don't see that changing. So I think they will probably ding them a little, but you're right. They're still going to host a home playoff game, right?
Here's even a bigger question, Bill. Like, assuming Auburn would have beaten Alabama, I mean, is Lane Kiffin coaching in the SEC championship?
See, I think that's what they were kind of waiting on, honestly, because had Alabama lost Saturday, which wasn't out of the question, I do think Lane Kiffin would have coached in the SEC championship game, and this circus would have gone on for another week, because technically the regular season would not have been over. So we would have been on Kiffin watch all week, which thankfully that's over, by the way, as somebody who's had to follow that for like 2 weeks. But yeah, I think he might have. And as far as the punishment, you're right, Tito. They will drop 1 or 2 spots, much like Florida State did. And I don't know that it'll rise to the level of losing that 8th seed, because no matter what we try to debate, they beat Oklahoma, and they have fewer losses than Oklahoma. And that's what's going to keep them, I think, in the top 8 in the college football playoff rankings. Every other team, with the exception of BYU, out of the power conferences with 1 loss or less, will be ranked in the top 8.
Bill, appreciate the time. Thank you as always. We appreciate that. We will talk again next week, and we'll be on the eve then of the final reveal of the playoff rankings. Have a great week.
Hey, sounds good, guys. Thanks so much for having me on.
You bet. That was Bill Benefits Sporting joining us right there. Coming up next, hit you with Quick Hitters Morning Juice.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. Green & Sons has all the Kubotas you need to tackle your land and come out a winner. They have zero-turn skid steers, tractors from 18 to 171 horsepower, and also utility vehicles. My favorite is my RTV Sidekick. The best thing about Green & Sons is they've been family-owned and operated since 1970, and you will love dealing with the Green family and their winning team. Do what I did and check out Green & Sons, located in Mount Sterling and Marysville, or online at greenandsons.com for all your Kubota needs.
We are the keepers of the wild, America's original and most invested conservationists. For more than 80 years, we've been committed to conserving wildlife and the natural landscapes that define our nation. From rugged alpine ridgelines to peaceful tall grass prairies, we've supported the conservation of more than 36 million acres of American wildlands. Our funding has led to cleaner water, fresher air, and improved wildlife habitat. From abundant fish and waterfowl populations to robust deer and elk herds, nothing is more important than maintaining wild spaces for adventurers to explore and wildlife to thrive. We are America's hunters and target shooters, stewards of the American outdoors.
America's hunters and target shooters, along with firearm, ammunition, and archery manufacturers, have invested more than $46 billion to help state fish and wildlife agencies manage and protect wildlife and wildlands across America. For more information, visit outdoorstewards.org.
'Tis the season to be hungry at Roosters. That's why for every $50 spent on Roosters gift cards, you'll receive a $10 Rooster Buck back in your stocking. May your holidays be filled with friends and family, love and laughter, and of course, Roosters Wings. Go to roosterswings.com today or drop by any Roosters location to purchase your $50 holiday gift cards and receive a $10 Rooster Buck in return. Happy holidays from all of us at Roosters. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
Once there was a man who couldn't stand.
A mom who couldn't wait.
A scientific community that said it couldn't be done.
And then you.
And then I.
And then we brought neuromuscular disease into screaming color with the Muscular Dystrophy Association.
For 75 years, our voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
We've willed the impossible into existence.
We've pushed the science,
raised the funds,
shifted the narrative,
and transformed the reality of life with neuromuscular diseases.
For 75 years, we've built communities together,
established the field of neuromuscular medicine,
and made it thrive.
Call that a legacy.
Call it impact.
Call it momentum.
Just call it ours.
Because it's the generations of community heroes that give MDA the strength we have today.
And until neuromuscular disease is a thing of the past, you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
Bobby's knees hurt from doing battle with some of football's toughest warriors. Tito's knees hurt from begging Bobby to let him host this show.
Oh, pick me! Oh, I know, me!
This is Morning Juice.
Bodie, I've never felt more pressure than today to push the right button. Based on prior events.
Morning Juice presents Quick Hitters.
Sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy today at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP.
Good morning, Bodie.
Happy Monday, fellas. Reaction Monday here for us at the Fan. We'll start here. Conversation we just had a little bit with Bill Bender last segment. It was a quick and not very good 2 years for Jonathan Smith and East Lansing. The Spartans, they went 9-15 overall and 4-14 in Big Ten play. They lost 8 of their last 9 games this season. And now, just 2 years into the job, he is out at Michigan State. And the Spartans, they already have their next head coach lined up. I think it's a pretty good one, guys. Just a guy who's had a lot of success in the Big Ten. That'll be Pat Fitzgerald. He went 110-101 in 17 seasons at his alma mater there at Northwestern. Made the Big Ten championship game a couple of times. He was fired a couple of years ago. Was that because of performance? Was that because of the team hazing scandal? Was it because of both? It's probably both. But Tito, do you think, it was not that long ago that Michigan State was the biggest thorn in Ohio State's side to win the Big Ten. Yeah. Can Pat Fitzgerald get them back to being in that ballpark?
Wake up the echoes?
Yes.
Listen,
speaking of,
I think
Sparty goes to South Bend next September, Bob.
Of course,
Pat Fitzgerald, I think, has won his last 2 games there.
We'll tie it back
so
to
hopefully that ends at 3.
That's fine. It's a Monday. We'll do that, Bodie. It's a great hire for Michigan State. I am shocked. Maybe Penn State made a big push. Maybe they didn't. Maybe he didn't like the culture. Maybe he thought it's easier to do it here. Whatever. But yes, Pat Fitzgerald, he's a great Big Ten coach, Bob. But when I think of something like this now, and I look at it, there's been a lot of big-time, blue blood, historically significant schools that have made bad hires. But it feels like now, today, as we sit here, Bob, it is more important than ever to make the right hire. It is so much more difficult. You look at what's, at Florida State with Norvell. They've got to make it out like, hey, he's our guy. Wisconsin say, hey, we're sticking with Fick. They're doing these things. Stick with Fick, by the way. That's a campaign T-shirt you could have out there. Stick with Fick. But Bob, this feels like it is such an important hire for Michigan State. Every hire going forward, depending on the guaranteed money, how they set it up, though, it's an incredibly critical hire for all these teams.
It is. And I think that hire, it's amazing. Like, I saw that Pat Fitzgerald was hired before that I saw that John Smith was fired.
Right. I saw it too.
The
You're right.
timeline was like back-to-back tweets. I'm like, wait, that job's
How'd that
open?
happen?
Oh, there it was. He was fired 10 minutes ago, at least publicly. And maybe he knew. It felt like Michigan State, just from being close to that program, this was inevitable. And it was a function of who were they going to get. And I felt like they the Pat Fitzgerald settlement, I think he wanted to get that done. And then they had to issue the walk of shame letter saying he didn't know anything. We acted in haste, and that came with a nice check as well.
Yeah.
And maybe even part of it with him was he had an inkling that there was going to be opportunities and people were inquiring. I don't even want as much money. I just need you to sit there and say that I'm good so that my next employer, when people push back on it, can say, look, Northwestern did the investigation. They said they acted in haste. They shouldn't have fired him. All's good. And so it feels like that kind of was maybe in the works and that this was a little bit inevitable. I'm surprised, like you said, that Penn State didn't do that.
Yeah.
Now, everybody was moving last night. I mean, it was straight up, what the heck is the chair game? You walk around.
Oh, musical chairs. Yeah.
Gosh, dog it. Musical chairs. And, I'm curious to see, what's going to happen now. I mean, now Ole Miss is open, but it feels like
I think
Drinkowitz, did they announce
Drinkowitz announced extension, right? Drinkowitz
yeah,
in
he's
Missouri.
staying.
Yes, he's
I think Pete Golding.
Not Drinkowitz, Golding.
Yeah,
so
I don't know if it's like officially official, but I think it's pretty official.
So that's
I thought
real.
Thamel or Bruce Feldman, one of those guys, had it
I think that's right. I think that's accurate. I think you're right. That somebody's right there.
He got the promotion, and
yeah.
at first it was like, hey, he's going to be the head coach, and then they immediately followed up, and it's like, that's not just for the playoff. That is for the...
Okay,
but is it smart for them, though, to do it that way?
Yeah, Ole Miss didn't make it official yesterday. So
it's
that's
smart if it works.
Okay, but I'm saying, if you don't announce him as permanent coach, then the window doesn't open yet. Right? Like, you've got, a time, after the playoffs and everything, there's a...
Window for what?
For transfer portal.
It's open anyway.
I understand it's open, but I'm saying if you say he's interim head coach...
I understand that, but it's
going to change anything.
It's going to open regardless.
Sure, it will, yes. But I'm saying there's a time, though, when the portal has its open thing, though, Bob.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, I'm saying the portal has its window, right? The portal has a time, but...
The portal opens in a week anyway.
It opens up, yeah. It opens up. But I'm saying, though, there's a time then, though, where
I
after
understand.
someone's the head coach...
Are they waiting a week or not? Does that matter? It doesn't. I don't think so. It wasn't Drinkowitz. Who was...
Vandy, Clark Lee.
No. Clark Lee went there long too. Clark Lee's got the extension.
Who's at Auburn right now that's their interim coach?
Oh, I don't even. DJ Durkin?
Durkin.
Right? Yeah.
Someone had said, they're like, you know what, I wouldn't surprise if they brought in Durkin. That's why I didn't know if they had made that.
No, they hired. Who did they hire? Didn't they get Golish?
Yes. No,
Yeah.
I'm talking about Ole Miss bringing Durkin in, obviously, because he was the interim coach there.
Oh, okay.
That they would make him the head coach at Ole Miss. I had heard that floated around. I didn't realize that it was officially official as opposed to unofficially official. They're going with Golding there in Ole Miss in Oxford. It's wild to see Penn State. I know that there were rumors about Hartline floating around, and then maybe those have subsided a little bit. I'm curious to see where they go because it feels like that's going to be something that their AD wants to make a splash higher. So I'm curious what that splash looks like, and maybe is DeBoer still in the mix for that? I don't know. That would be a huge shockwave through college football.
I guess, is Bama, are they in?
I think,
or do they need to play it close
The
this
thing
weekend?
is, I don't think you can punish a team for making their conference championship.
I agree. I wasn't sure. What happens if they get hammered?
Let
me ask you this, because the committee has said that Notre Dame is ahead of Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
That shouldn't have changed Saturday, right?
Yeah, should not have changed.
Bama went a close one.
Yep.
We hammer Stanford. Who cares? Auburn's not great. It's a rivalry game, so I'm not going to kill Bama for playing a close game. Stanford's not very good, so Notre Dame did what they needed to. That shouldn't have changed this week.
Should not have. You're right.
But if Bama loses, and let's say it's by 10 to 14 points, so they, it's not close, but they don't get killed either. If BYU beats Texas Tech, then they have to be in. They're going to be the Big 12 champ.
Right.
Texas Tech isn't falling that far.
They're not?
They're going to be fourth or
They're
fifth.
Texas Tech's getting in.
So how does Alabama jump Notre Dame to stay into that final spot? I'm honestly asking because I don't know. If the committee has established over the last few weeks that Alabama is behind Notre Dame, I agree. I don't know how you punish them for losing in an SEC title game, and Sankey might start killing people down there if that happens. But if they're behind Notre Dame now, how do they jump Notre Dame by losing an extra game?
Okay.
I don't know. I'm honestly
asking.
asking.
I'll ask you guys this. I want you to rank these 4 teams for me.
Oh, jeez.
I know. I love it. Miami, Notre Dame, Alabama, Texas Tech. Rank the 4 of them for me the way you see them right now. Alabama, Texas Tech. I just pushed up the order. Notre Dame, Miami. How do you rank them, Bobby?
I'd go Texas Tech, Notre Dame, Alabama, Miami.
I think I'd go Miami 3, Bama 4. By the way, I think all those teams are better than Oklahoma.
I think all 4 of those teams
I know Oklahoma's getting in. I'm not saying they shouldn't be in, but...
go to hell, Group of 5. I think all 4 of the teams are better than Group of 5. All 4 teams are better than Duke or Virginia.
They are, but that's unfortunately not how the system works. I mean...
But it's fixed.
The AFC North probably may not deserve a playoff team this year, but... That's how the system works.
You're right. I agree with you. I'm saying it's stupid to me. Yeah, I said stupid with 2 O's. That we have a 12-team playoff that might not include.
I'm always said stupid is as stupid does.
All 4 of those teams. Was Cocktail a Tom Cruise movie, by the way? Bender brought up.
Yeah,
that's true.
Okay. Anyway, I'm saying those 4 though, Bob, should all be in the playoffs. I don't care if it's weekend.
I don't debate that. Here's the thing about Miami. I think Miami is talented. They're just poorly coached.
Sure.
And nobody will say that out loud, but I don't think Mario Cristobal, and I'll sit there and debate him. He can yell and scream and do whatever. I'm like, buddy, I watch your team play. They play to the level of their competition, and you make bad in-game coaching decisions. So
they lost to 2 unranked teams.
You think Miami is poorly coached or poorly constructed?
That's the same thing. The coach is the constructor.
Well,
he's the one that builds. He's the architect.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's a specific. What I'm saying, Bob, is I don't know if Miami is in-game poorly coached. They're not coached well they should be, but I wonder if they just
in-game. Have you ever watched them?
Yeah, in-game, yes, they're poorly coached in-game. I'm saying that, but as far as construction goes,
they're really talented.
I didn't think Carson Beck was all that. They
played well this year.
They put a lot in him.
He threw 4 interceptions a couple times.
He said he's played well.
They put a lot on him.
He has a 4-game stretch where he threw 10 touchdowns and 9 picks.
He's been up and down. His first month was incredible. His second month was not incredible, but they've been really good again in November.
So if
I know the competition they hammered Pitt. I think Pitt's solid, but
and that's what I'm saying. They played really well in that game. Pitt was a big game. They played down to teams that
Louisville and SMU.
Yes,
yeah.
I mean, you look at and I'm just not basing that off this year.
Sure,
no.
You look at over his tenure. Mario Cristobal even did some of that at Oregon as well.
Yeah,
he's made late game coaching mistakes on clock management, play management, different things of what they should do, and also and this is part of it. Ohio State coaches never get the credit they deserve because they always say they have the best players. Well, Miami has the ability to get the best players in the SEC. They should have the best for ACC. Right? They should have the best players.
They probably do.
They chose to pay Carson Beck $4 million. They could have gotten Fernando Mendoza. I'm probably, without asking him, and he'd never admitted to this day, but if they offered you $4 million to go back home from Cal to go play in your home, the guy is from Miami. You know what I'm saying? He ain't getting $4 million in Indiana, and I guarantee you that he would have rather probably played at Miami over Indiana.
Bob.
And that's the choice they made. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, well, he has a quarterback that's up and down. You chose him. And by the way, you had the resources to do it. It's not like you're a group of 5 school that said this is the best guy we could get. You got the best guy that was out there.
Whose decision is that? Do you think
it's head coaches?
It's Cristobal. So it's not.
Yeah.
It's not a collab.
Well, maybe him and the GM.
But I'm saying that he's got the AD, the GM, whatever you want to say. You're saying that he's got the loudest voice in the room.
I would say so.
Yes.
To me, if obviously Sain's got another year, but when Ohio State went to Howard, I'm sure it was Day, Hartline, Pantoni.
Yes, and they're
but Day has the he's the head
Day's
coach.
got a number
right,
Bob? And that's Day's got a number. You can't. he can't exceed.
Yes, that's true.
Oh, do you mean
That's
financially?
setup. I'm saying setup, yeah. So,
Oh, okay.
like,
Yeah. I thought you meant just like the decision
all
to
of it.
choose
No, I'm saying
pick.
all of it. I'm saying, like, I wonder how that goes down, Bob. Like, where, Day's got, hey, this is the
Brutus
number.
is
We
across
can't.
the hallway.
We cannot go.
I'm serious.
I know he is. I saw Brutus is going to be on their show.
I didn't see that.
We didn't get Brutus.
Brutus?
Sorry, Brutus is
literally
right behind you, Bob.
Brutus is in the studio.
He doesn't talk.
It's a tough interview. I'm not going to lie to you.
They say radio's the theater of the mind, Bob. So
What's
just imagine what he
can't
would
say much.
That's amazing.
He was out there writing script to Ohio in the snow on Saturday.
So it's a collaborative thing where they figure out what the dollar amount they're going to allocate and like how much you need to put to that. And obviously your quarterback's the most important position, so you need to make sure you get that right.
I do want to bring this up with you guys real quick. I want to get your thoughts on this. Bill Bender brought this up in our interview with him, talking about Nicole Auerbach saying that the ACC should just say, no, sorry, Duke, Miami's in. I don't even know if that's like legal. I can't imagine it maybe is, or maybe it is, I don't know if it is or isn't. But nevertheless, I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on this. Should conferences maybe not eliminate tiebreakers, you have to have something. But do you think it would make sense moving forward to have the CFP rankings factor into the tiebreaker somehow to basically just say, you know what, if like the ACC, there's like 4 or 5 teams tied at 6-2 right behind Virginia at 7-1 in the conference. Because if Miami was playing this weekend, they would be in.
So,
they'd beat Virginia and they'd get in.
In the American Conference, that is the tiebreaker.
Okay.
It's rankings?
Yeah, it might be head-to-head, and then like rankings is right after that.
Yeah.
I think the results on the field should matter.
Yes, yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying
But like the second tiebreaker is not common opponents and win percentages and all this crap. It's
CFP rankings.
CFP rankings. And the Big 12, when they used to do the North and South, that was also one of their rankings. It was like head-to-head, and there was like one other thing, but the third one was the highest-ranked BCS team would ultimately go because your objective is to get your teams into the playoff. You make more money as a conference that way.
Bob, there was a time, I read the story in Sports Illustrated a few weeks ago from the 80s. Okay, that's fine. We're not going to.
So you're reading a Sports Illustrated from 1980.
Yes, from the 80s. And a player for New England, the head of coach was at the time, might have been Ron Meyer from SMU. He told him, hey, look, it's a preseason game. He said on the next play, next time they kick off, you are going to have a concussion. You're going to go down with a concussion. And so next play happens. He doesn't, because he's not involved in the play at all, doesn't happen. Then the play after that when he runs, he's out there, and he's on the field grabbing his leg. And Meyer's like, no, concussion, your head. And the reason he did that is Ron Meyer wanted to have him on IR so he could not get picked up by another team off a practice squad.
Sure.
That would be all I would do, HC. I would say, hey, look, Virginia, you guys have COVID.
Duke, right?
Duke, Duke,
Virginia at least went 7-1.
Miami's the best team in the ACC. Okay, they're the best team in the ACC. I think I would say, look, Virginia, Duke, you guys both have COVID. It can't do it. You can't play in the playoff because you have COVID. You can't, whatever. I would do something to make sure. I would say you've got a concussion. You cannot be in the CFP.
And listen, when Miami goes to Cameron Indoor in 2 months, we promise you'll win that game.
Do you know who the best ACC team is? It's Notre Dame. That's the one that should be. Okay, that's fine.
Just let Miami and Notre Dame rematch in South Bend.
Yes, let's just do that. Coming up next,
we will to the CFP.
Yes, we'll do a deep dive in the OSU win over Michigan this weekend. We'll do that next. Morning Juice.
Hey Columbus, it's Lorenzo Stiles Jr., Ohio State student athlete. It's football season, and just like on the field, success starts with the right game plan and the right team. That's why I'm proud to team up with Monogram Homes. They're the true custom home builder, bringing precision, creativity, and attention to every detail, just like we do on Saturdays. If you're ready to build, don't settle for standard. Go custom. Go Monogram. Visit monogramhomes.net to start building today. Monogram Homes, a builder you can trust.
As a teacher or coach, do you ever feel overwhelmed supporting kids' mental health?
Teachers need tons of help.
I had never experienced players being so down that they can't even participate.
It's so important that we are constantly educating ourselves.
It's the same as the CPR class to me. We're trying to save a life here.
The Kids Mental Health Foundation has free tools and information developed by experts. Scan the QR code or check out kidsmentalhealthfoundation.org to get started.
Hey guys, 13-year NFL veteran and Super Bowl champion Jason McCourty here, and I'm the Innovation Ambassador at FAIR, Food Allergy and Research Education. I would say the most challenging thing as a parent of a kid who has a food allergy is probably the ignorance that I myself had in the beginning. I didn't know what anaphylactic shock was. I didn't know the dangers, let alone the things that she needed to be able to have a normal life. When you go to drop your kid off, and every single time in the beginning, we'd have to go through everything she was allergic to. Preparation is everything. And me, for playing football for 13 years, it was all throughout the course of the week. It's getting ready for game day. When you're on the field, you're playing for your fans. At home, you're playing for your family. My playbook, read labels, keep it allergy friendly, and have an epinephrine nasal spray as a backup plan. Because when my family's safe from food allergens, that's the real victory. Visit foodallergy.org to learn more.
People don't realize that glaucoma is one of the leading causes of blindness.
Because there are often no early symptoms, nearly half of those with glaucoma may not even know they have it until vision loss has occurred.
I was diagnosed with normal tension glaucoma in July of 2020. And what we found out at that point was I had already lost 40% of my sight. And you think it only affects people that are, 75 or older, retired, grandparents, and that's not the reality of it.
I didn't think at all glaucoma was going to affect me because I didn't know of anyone that had glaucoma, no one in my family. When you have glaucoma, you can't get back that sight that you lost. And so early detection and treatment is vitally, vitally important.
Don't miss life's most beautiful moments. Schedule an eye exam today.
National Glaucoma Research, a Bright Focus Foundation program, offers free resources and tips for healthy vision.
Learn how to protect your sight at stopglaucoma.org.
Proud to be your go-to sports addiction.
WBNS, WBNS FM, HD3 Columbus.
The Fan 3, Ohio sports destination. One man is a national champion, NFL veteran, and local business leader. The other man is Tito. This is Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
All right, it's Bobby, it's Tito, it's Bodie. Thanks for appreciate this. I don't know since I missed earlier, but I will tell you, we are sponsored by Riverside Bank in Dublin, Event Risk Lead Protection.
I hit them both, don't worry.
Thank you. Communication, I apologize. Bob, this game on Saturday, and after the game, we saw it on different clips, which I'm in favor of. But we saw Ryan Day embracing Matt Patricia. And Patricia saying something to the effect of,
I thought maybe it was Patricia embracing Day.
It could have been that too.
Who's the embracer? Who's the
That's a
embracee?
great God, bro.
Looked like Red showing up on that beach.
Yeah.
This feels like a poll question, but only for us. Who embraced who? Such a great moment, though, Bob. And I am obviously, look, you did bring the gold pants in today or not? You didn't bring them in?
No.
Okay, that's fine. Anyway, I'm glad all those players got their gold pants. But I could not be happier for one person more than I am for Ryan Day getting this win and what it means to him. And he doesn't need my, obviously doesn't need,
You said the best part about getting the win was getting your approval. Thitoff.
Do we have that on tape? Can you verify? Is that true?
Maybe.
Okay.
Nobody knows that he didn't say that.
By the way, I don't think it was lost on me last week, and I'm going to bring this up now. When Tress did the little clip thing about what the game was, what did he say?
Well, I asked him to send in something. I didn't give him any specifications around it. And so they cut that. I don't know if it was Boat. I think Tyler cut it for the short, but then when they put it in the compilation, that he referenced Anthony being there.
He was really glad to be on the with Carpenter and Schleggs.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. You know what? I'm not going to get hung up on that any more than I already am. Disrespectful that he didn't mention Jeffrey Ice. But I look at that win though, Bob, and what it means for, and not the day. Look, I know he didn't wear the flare robe. He didn't go out there and do all that stuff and strut around.
You know what's amazing? He kind of did the opposite of what you said.
I know.
We're going to go with class and humility.
I know.
So get your guys off the field. We're going to go celebrate in the stand. People always say, like, I'll go flag plant. I go, you know what? You stand there and watch everybody file out. And I go, the other thing, someone goes, well, they should get him up the tunnel right away. I go, no, let them sit out there. I go, the people that come up, and whenever the band would travel, I go, that's a big deal to be able to go out there and celebrate with them. And, people that come on the road, they spend their time and money to go there. And they were there and they were loud, and you could hear it in the third and like late in the third and fourth quarter when Michigan was on offense. It was like loud in the stadium. I mean, people were actively cheering on third down that you could hear coming through, and it was awesome to see that. And so to watch those guys go hop up and celebrate with that's the thing that separates college from professional sports is you don't see that to that degree ever happen. It never happens like that in professional sports. And it was awesome to watch those guys connect with the students, the alumni, fans, everybody that's there that came up there to support them.
There are certain fan bases, the Steelers being one of them, like that will travel really well for the team.
Yeah.
But it does, you're right, out of 32 NFL teams, there's maybe 2 or 3 that probably have that kind of thing, but it means so much more in this environment when it's Ohio State against Michigan than it does if Pittsburgh travels when they play the Raiders or the Chargers out west. Like if you go out to Vegas, when Pittsburgh plays Vegas, there's a lot of Steelers fans there. Yeah. Same thing out with when they play the Chargers or the Rams. There's a huge number of Steelers fans. But those are meaningless. Those are not as meaningful regular season games. But you see this with Ohio State and Michigan. And I think about my buddy Buckeye Frank, who goes to all the road games. He hasn't missed a game in years. And he's out there, and I'm thinking, God, he's got his finger on the pulse of what's going on crowd-wise. And seeing Ohio State not dominate, but seeing Ohio State being so loud when Michigan fans are leaving the stadium is a wonderful thing. But as a player, you're on the field. Do you sense it?
Sense what?
Okay, if you're on the field at a road game, do you sense? Can
How
you
many
tell?
people are there? Yeah, you can see when you walk in, when you're warming up.
Yeah,
they were showing it at the beginning. Like it's not, those guys aren't oblivious. It's not like you can't see into the crowd, and you can hear people cheer when things go well for you. I mean, you reference those people, you see them, you feel them there. Yes, I mean there is a connectivity when you're on the road and you have a sense that, hey, there's a lot of people that made this trip.
I didn't know, but Bob, when you're locked in as a player, though, like, does it?
I guarantee when they walked out for warm-ups, with the amount of Ohio State fans that were there early in the game when they did the top shot, and I was like, man, it looks like there's like 10 to 15,000 Buckeye fans there, maybe even more. And it may have been up to 20. And you sense that. You feel it when you're going out there to warm up. And then you can hear them during the game. It's a big deal.
Yeah, I never do, because some players say I block it out, or we don't hear that, we don't see that, or whatever. But
you can say whatever you want, but when you go out there for warm-ups and you see something that's unexpected, and the amount of scarlet you saw smatter throughout that stadium, like that was real.
And then the game gets underway, Bob. And yes, me, like a lot of Buckeye fans, I'm sure, were anxious, I wasn't nervous. I really thought, even though last year, Bob, I would say I was more confident in a Buckeye win than I was this year. Last year, I was more confident. Home game, double-digit favorite. I really felt great last year. More confident last year. This year, though, I felt a certain, God, a lot's got to go wrong for Ohio State to lose this game. And I had such a belief in this team, and specifically the way Ryan Day has coached since that Michigan game. The way the team is, the way they have executed game plans and the way they've focused since that loss last year, that I felt more, maybe not more confident, but more calm.
I think they're 16-0 since that game. Yep. They have 7 ranked wins.
Haven't played anybody yet.
Won a national championship, obviously, last year. Just beat Michigan this year. Getting a chance to go play for a Big Ten championship now. I mean, checking a lot of boxes. Since that time, since 1 year ago, they've been really stinking good. And they've been dominant when they've been playing everybody as well.
I'm going to ask you a question, Bob. That is a dumb question, which I never do. If Ohio State does not win the national championship, is this year a disappointment?
I don't know if I define it as a disappointment. A lot of it's how it looks and what happens during that time. I can't sit there and definitively tell you, how I'll feel about that prior to seeing kind of what happens. Is they lose next week and then lose in the first round? Do they make it to the national championship and lose a close game? Are there injuries? What happens along the way? There's a lot there that needs to be unpacked.
Okay, but you say an injury, I'm with you, Bob. I think the season's been great. And there are Buckeye fans, though, that have always said, or not always said, but recently said that, hey, I'd rather beat Michigan and not win the Natty.
People are fools.
Bobby, I am 100%
fine. And I'll tell them. It's okay. People look at me and tell me that. I'm like, well, I've got a national championship ring and 3 pairs of gold pants. I trade one of the pants for another national championship ring right now.
And I'm trying to think then, Bob, you mentioned, who knows, maybe an injury happens. Who would have to get hurt for it to impact Ohio State's? Is Sane the only one? Or because Tito's good?
I don't even know if it is Sane. I mean,
I'm saying, is there anybody else?
Julian's really good. The offense would look different with Lincoln, and you would want more of a you would obviously want more lead time to get him ready than less,
right.
But
is there injury? Like if this guy's got, if they say this guy's hurt.
I don't know if on the defensive line. It's crazy to say this.
Yeah.
It would probably be someone on the defense, whether, an Arvell Reese or really maybe a Caden. No, I don't even know about that. I'd say Caden McDonald inside, because I don't know if you have anybody that's equipped to be able to do what he does and how he impacts the game. And I know that it maybe isn't as visual as most people would like it to be, just because he plays the defensive tackle position, but I would say that might be the answer.
Yeah, I thought about that, Bob. I was thinking, is there anybody who, like we talked about the Florida State thing, they lose their quarterback, they get dropped out of the playoff a couple years ago. Is there somebody from Ohio State, if they got hurt, it could impact their chances dramatically of winning the Natty, or winning against Indiana or the Natty, either one? And I don't know if there's someone out there. I don't know if that exists, Bob, because of how deep this team is.
Well, they're deep everywhere except for maybe like on the inside of the interior of the defensive line. They've gotten a little more depth there. They've developed guys throughout the season.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but Caden McDonald's up for an Outland Trophy. There's a reason why that he's up for that. And you look at the guys up for the different awards and everything. I mean, defensively, you've got, what's Caleb up for? Is he at Thorpe?
I think it's Thorpe for Caleb, right? Is there another one too?
Gursky? I don't know. I mean, Arvell's up for a couple, and then Caden's up for the Outland. I mean, they've got some really, really talented players up there. And not that other guys aren't. It's always, what's the difference between you and the guy behind you? It's not how good you are. It's what that delta is, what the difference is right there. And that might be the biggest drop that you would find.
Yeah, I think you're right on that one. So the game kicks off on Saturday, Bob, this past weekend. And was there something early on that happened that you just said, you know what, this is not going to end well for Michigan? Or just something happened, something you saw schematically, or something happened within the game that you said, you know what, this is Ohio State's definitely a play or a series, or was something that stood out to you like, now I know this is going to end well for Ohio State?
I think just the way they're able to run. First of all, when Carnell Tate and J.J. Smith were both out there, I was like, they're going to be fine. And I figured J.J. would play. I thought Carnell would. I had to listen to a lot of people sit there and try to tell me that, that his injury wasn't that serious, and as if they knew about it. And then subsequently saying he's actually, he's opting out and he's not going to play and all this stuff. And I'm like, man, he went out there and had the biggest game of everybody. So it was great to listen to everybody get shut up about that and not have to listen to it. But really, it was when those two guys were out there, because I'm like, they will make enough plays and they will make it uncomfortable enough for Michigan that they're not going to be able to stop it all. Like, that's just the function. That's just the reality of it.
Yeah, Bob, I can't imagine them if people reached out to you either on social media or personally when they saw you maybe at Roosters or whatever doing your show and said, hey, I heard this. Is this true? I got questions about that too. Is it Tate's agent? Is that why he's not playing? Could he play?
People, he has
all
Rosenhaus.
Yes.
They're saying, Jackson had Rosenhaus. I'm like, Hartline also. That was Hartline's agent was Drew Rosenhaus.
Oh, was it really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
See, I know.
Exactly, because no one, I know more. I don't, I'm not here to tell everybody everything in the world, but I was like, and I don't know things to be a certainty, but I probably have the most information that anybody's going to find outside of people telling me they're hearing stuff. They work at the medical center and they heard doctors talking. I'm like, first of all, none of the players go over to the hospital, okay, unless they suffered a Mark Sanchez lung puncture from a
just happy to be alive, amigo.
Yeah, exactly. But they're going to the sports med building. They're talking to the doctors. I could have told. I couldn't have said for certainty whether Carnell was going to play. But I'm like, if he can, I know that he will. And the fact that he went out there and had that game with some people, throwing shade and saying that nonsense, it made me feel really good. So when both of those guys were active and up, I'm like, regardless what happens, you're really just one play away from a touchdown. And that bore out twice during the game, where you were one play away from a touchdown. And whether you're on the 40-yard line, 30-yard line, coming in, going out, doesn't matter. Those guys can get on top of people in a hurry. And then once they started really running the ball, they ran the ball pretty effectively all game. And once they're able to do that, I was like, this defense is going to take over. Probably when they stopped Michigan for the second time and held them to 3, I'm like, okay, they had 2 good chances of getting touchdowns, and they got 6 combined. Not 14, 6. And in that game, Tress always said, he's like, field goals get you beat, touchdowns win you games. And you got to take points when you can get them, but if you get down there, you've got to score.
You've got all these connections, and we can't get Mutis on our show. I'm sorry, Brutus. I said Mutis. I meant Brutus. We can't get Brutus on our show. But Bob, if you look at this,
he didn't tell me much.
I understand that. But Bob, so yeah, when I looked at this game, I was looking at, you're right, the field goal thing. When Michigan had a chance to get touchdowns, and they got field goals instead, certainly was a big role in all of this. And it seemed to me, I had a lot of the same feelings, Bob, that I had last year during the Indiana game, where it's like, it's Michigan's going to play to not get destroyed. Michigan didn't want to lose 50-0.
I think they thought, really, that they'd be able to come in and do what they did last year.
Really?
Yeah, I truly believe that.
Do you think anybody outside of Michigan, outside of the team, do you think anybody, like, looking at national media, I'm not saying Portnoy, don't say Portnoy because that doesn't count. And don't say Desmond Howard because that doesn't count, or Mark May, or Lou Holtz. No offense, Bodie. But do you think anybody else
How
really...
about Charles Woodson?
Charles Wood, that's fine. That also. But do you think anybody who had a unbiased bone in their body could have seen Michigan competing with this team?
I don't think anyone would have said that last year. I think the difference in the teams last year was bigger. It's just where Michigan was really good is where Ohio State was struggling. And then the wind and, Will getting hit, like just all those things kind of together. I don't think he played his best game from that. So there was just a lot that obviously went into that. And so last year I felt supremely confident with all of it. This year I felt good, but maybe not quite as good with all of it. But I felt like that you'd be able to run the football on them, and that's what they did. I think they thought really that Michigan would come in there and play bully ball with them.
Have you been around the team since they got back or not?
No.
Okay.
I didn't go over there yesterday. Right. My family's all sick. They're all thrown up at the house.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Everybody? Like all the kids?
Except for me and McLean.
Wow. My favorite Carpenter sick?
That's when I say everybody.
I know. I just want to make sure
that implies everybody.
I got you. That's too bad. I don't think it was thrown at our house. Anyway, but Bob, yes, I'm curious what it will be like the next time you walk into the building, because I said, Bob, the other day that it's
it'll be business in there. That's what it's going to be. They're going to walk in there, and it's going to be business. They're preparing to go win a Big Ten championship, man.
I know.
What do you think? They go in there, it's going to be some sort of 3-day rave party?
I'm not saying a 3-day, maybe a 1-day. I would be fine with a 1-day rave party, though, Bob, but I know.
These guys want to go win another one, man. And they were happy to do it. They celebrated, sat on the plane. I guarantee you once they landed, hey, we're back to business again.
They were on there for a long time, from what I hear, too, right?
Yeah, that's terrible. That's the one negative thing about flying.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Tell the pilot to take off.
Just go. We're going to be fine.
Do your job.
Exactly.
Get us up. We'll come down. I promise you we'll come down.
We'll come down at some point. That's right, Bob. I don't know if that's what I want the pilot to say, but okay.
Take off, and I trust that you'll – I always tell people, I trust that the pilot wants to die less than me, and he's going to have a front row seat at watching that thing, so he's going to get us down.
Yeah, he doesn't want to crash,
Put your gear on.
Put your gear on. That's exactly right. Big win for Ohio State. God, I'm so happy. I am happy for Friday. I know, Bob, that you've got personal relationships with players and coaches, so there's other things I'm sure they're playing. But, like, for me, the first thing I thought about when that clock hit 0 was, this is so damn good for a day. But there's a lot of guys on that team that I know.
Oh, everybody. All the players. Those guys deserve it. But deserving ain't got nothing to do with it. So you got to go out there and you got to win. And that's what they did.
Coming up next, a big change yesterday in college football regarding Lane Kiffin. We'll talk about that. This is Morning Juice.
I always tell people I was the luckiest guy in the world. I wanted to be an Army man or a fireman, and I got to do both. As a firefighter, my job was about saving lives. I never thought one day I would be fighting for mine.
After spending his career answering the call to save others, Ken was diagnosed with ALS. Now he's facing his biggest battle, for more time. For 70 years, Muscular Dystrophy Association has been answering the call to help people live longer and more independent lives.
MDA means to me hope.
MDA is leading the way for people living with ALS, muscular dystrophy, and other neuromuscular diseases by accelerating research, advancing care, and advocating to empower families like Ken's.
I wouldn't be living as good of a life with ALS if it wasn't for MDA. MDA is helping people live stronger and love longer. Learn more at MDA.org today.
You wanted to be cool, which led you to smoking, which led to a pack a day. Then you met that special someone, which led to starting a life with them, which led to wanting to live longer, which led to quitting. Then you heard you may be at risk for lung cancer, which led you to getting a low-dose CT scan. If you smoked, get scanned. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
My name is DeMar Hamlin. I play for the Buffalo Bills, and I play safety. CPR saved my life. I've teamed up with the American Heart Association as a national ambassador to help create a nation of lifesavers, turning bystanders into lifesavers through CPR education and access to AEDs. Nearly 3 out of 4 cardiac arrests that don't happen in hospitals happen in homes. Join me to ensure everyone has the chance to live longer, healthier lives. Visit heart.org/nation.
My mom is a veteran and she was injured in the line of duty.
I hurt my leg in a training accident when she was only 2 years old.
She had 7 different surgeries over the span of 9 years, and there were tons of complications.
I couldn't be the mom my kids needed me to be.
She missed so much.
After my last surgery, I got an infection so bad I thought it was going to kill me.
I told her she couldn't leave me yet. There was still so much she had to see. I hadn't even graduated.
I'm doing much better now. I may have lost my leg, but I've gained so much. I'm an active part of my kids' lives.
She can kick a mean soccer ball.
DAV's been there for me and my family. Through thick and thin, they've had our back.
Every year, DAV helps more than 1 million veterans like Sandy get the health and disability benefits they've earned so they can achieve victories great and small.
My victory is getting my life back. I got my joy back.
We got our mom back, thanks to DAV.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Attack and dominate. You're locked into Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
Morning Juice, Tito, Bobby, Bodie, crew's together. Is the crew together tomorrow? Bob, you here tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm here all week.
Bodie?
Off tomorrow.
Of course you are.
But I'll be back Wednesday through Friday. Celebrating the independent championship tomorrow.
Yes, you will.
We edged UConn in the standings by just a game.
You know what?
10-2 versus 9-3.
Independence Day has a
doesn't
different
it?
meaning. Yes, Independence Day has a different meaning now going forward.
I just don't understand why every conference champion gets a shot to be in, but the independent champion.
I know. You guys are better than UConn.
Just left out in the wind.
So, Bob, when I put the show sheet together yesterday, and I'm thinking to myself, we're just going to keep talking to those two. Ohio State, Michigan. That's what we talk about, and it's great. Or do we transition?
Ooh.
No, don't. Or do we shift
Browns
gears?
lost
No,
again.
stop. We're going to shift gears.
Yeah. Looked really good.
I scored 8 points.
Yeah.
Shador wasn't terrible.
Had like 147 yards of total offense.
His QBR.
Can't turn the TV off, Bob. That's how
His
fun they are to
QBR was
watch.
like a 96.3 or 93 something. It was a good QBR.
It was all right. I watched enough of the game to see that he played okay, but not.
No, it wasn't. They were never in danger of winning.
No.
Bears won Friday.
Jeez.
Guess who's a game
telling
out in
you.
the loss column in the NFC East?
Listen, the Bears are the number 1 seed right now in the NFC, and I've been telling you now for weeks that if I'm another team, I don't want to see any part of the Cowboys in the playoffs. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah.
Team is dangerous.
I don't think I want to see it either, Tito.
I'm telling you, Bodie, the Cowboys are a dangerous team this year. It's fine. I'll be the one who's got the star on the lower of my back there. The small of my back is what I think we call it. I've got that tattoo. So, Bob, a couple things can be true. Lane Kiffin's an idiot. Lane Kiffin's.
I was disappointed in him with everything that he had said and all these things. I go, man. I think he wants to stay. I think he was torn. I think he was torn because he wanted to go to LSU, but he wanted to coach this team all the way through. And I get that. But, dude, that's the decision that you make. that you're going to forego that opportunity. So either you want to stay and you want to coach your team, or you want to leave. And he ultimately wanted to leave. And maybe he thought that there was a better chance that, he could win a national championship at LSU. I feel like that's probably the only reason he's leaving there, is that they have more resources and better chance to win. But I don't know. Like, the thought that he believed that he was going to be able to do that, I think, was crazy. Like, they're not going to permit you to do that, dude. And you knew that. So you can argue and complain about it, but you knew that wasn't going to be the case.
He put it on them. That's part. Okay, there's a couple things bothering me about this. First of all, and I'm curious about you, Bob, because I'm saying how old you were. How old were you when Reggie White left Philly to go to Green Bay? How old were you?
What was that, like 93, 94?
I think 93, 94,
yeah. Like 10, 11 years old.
Reggie White said that God told him to go to Green Bay.
Can't argue with that.
I'm just saying, God told him to go to GB. All right? That's what happened with Reggie White, according to Reggie White. Reggie White was a minister, so I tend to believe...
call him the Minister of Defense.
Minister of Defense, that's right. So I believe Reggie White when he says that God told him to go to Green Bay. All right. Lane Kiffin after the game on Friday, when he's asked about it, I got to pray on this. A lot of praying to do tonight. Do you think, poll question, God told Lane Kiffin to go to LSU?
So listen, I'm not going to sit here and testify to what...
Testify. Witness!
To what someone else, feels in their heart and, what they believe.
Yep.
I do think he was probably really torn with this. And, he called and he talked to Pete Carroll. I think he talked to Nick Saban, tried to get some counsel from that. Probably did pray on it and, probably had a conviction that this is where I want to finish my career. Now, the thing is, I think he could have actually finished his career at Ole Miss. I don't know if he will finish it the way he wants to at LSU. Maybe it goes well, maybe it doesn't. But there's a big part of doesn't that could happen at LSU that wouldn't have maybe happened at Ole Miss with all of that. So I liken this a little bit more. We can talk to Brewer about it. But he was saying that, like, the only time this has ever really happened was, like, when Bill Parcells left New England and went to the Jets.
Right.
I mean, you're talking about them playing in a Super Bowl and, like, him talking about leaving and, that kind of leaking out and everything like that, which was wild to think of. That was the NFL, so it was a little bit different. This whole situation with Lane, like, so I threw in the drop to Bill. Like, I mean, either you die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. He was the hero in Ole Miss, and then he became the villain. And he could have stayed the hero should he stayed. Like, that's what's crazy about it.
I think the better question, though, maybe for the poll, Bodie, I know you're taking notes on this. If God tells you stay at Ole Miss, but Saban says go to LSU, who do you listen to? Because apparently Saban was like, except Bob, one of the guys he talked to Saban about this. The thing that really bothers me about, among other things, if I'm an LSU fan, this would bother me. Him saying,
you're getting a guy that's done, like, you're absorbing his whole history, everything that he's done before this. So I don't know if all the trolling and everything that happened before, I mean, my goodness.
Okay, but Kiffin tells Marty Smith this was a very challenging, difficult day.
I think it was.
If I'm an LSU fan, I would say this is a no-brainer. This is L-freaking-S-U. I'm going to LSU to be their coach. He owes nothing more to, like, as far as once he said I'm leaving Ole Miss and going to LSU, he should not give a damn what Ole Miss fans think of him.
I don't know if he does. I don't know if he does, but you want the guy. Do you want the guy to answer honestly, or do you want him to just sit there and tell you what you want?
I want to answer. Look, I want to answer honestly, and honestly, I don't think this was a challenging, difficult day. I don't think it's more challenging when he left Tennessee for USC.
He was also, it was 15 years ago. I think he has matured probably a pretty significant amount since then.
Has he?
Do you think this Ole Miss team can win the national championship?
I think they could have with Lane.
How far do you think they could have gone?
I think they would have. I think they could have won a game going to the semis. I think they would have won a game. I don't think they were one of the top 4 teams in the country. But I think they could have got. I think that was their limit, though.
I don't think you have to be one of the top 4 teams to win a national championship. It's a one-off tournament. I think they're good enough to beat all of those teams, every team on any given day, should they play well enough. Like, and should they have to get some breaks. But I think they were good enough to, playing Ohio State. Do I think they beat Ohio State? No, but I think if you play them 10 times, they may have a chance to beat them once or twice, which is really all you need.
Not this game.
Not this game. Not their time is done.
If you think the Rebels could have gotten to the semifinals, though, isn't it pretty fair to say Lane Kiffin, it was a hard decision to leave?
No, because this is what I think. That what I'm saying is that I think for a person with a heart and a soul, it'd be difficult. I don't believe Lane Kiffin has either of those. I think Lane Kiffin's going to chase the next opportunity. LSU, by the way, he might sign that big deal. He might be great there. If your Cowboys come calling, Lane Kiffin is leaving LSU to go to the Cowboys.
Why are we moving off of Shoddy after the Super Bowl?
No, we're not going down. They're going to win it. I'm just saying though. But that's what I'm saying. I don't think Kiffin. For Kiffin to say, I think it's disingenuous. This is a very challenging, difficult. No, everyone knew. Everyone knew. If LSU, whoever insert team here, offered you the most money.
I don't think it was a money thing.
I don't think so either.
Really?
Ole Miss seemed to make it pretty clear they were matching.
I know that
LSU money's different than Ole Miss money.
Why is that?
Because I think in LSU,
it's its own country.
Yes, it's its own country.
Is that a good thing?
So I think that LSU. If you're telling me, Bobby, I'll pay you $12 million to coach Ohio State or $12 million to coach Nevada, where you're coaching.
Well, Nevada's not Ole Miss.
But Ole Miss is not that much better. Ole Miss and LSU are a different level, aren't they?
Not to that extent.
Okay, maybe not. Okay,
I don't think the difference
coach Iowa, 12 million coach Ohio State.
I don't think the difference is as big. I think the Iowa comparison is a little bit better. I mean, LSU, 3 of their last 4 coaches had won national championships. I mean, 2 guys I would not define as, elite game day coaches.
Okay.
And Ed Orgeron and Les Miles. But they were still able to win national championships there. So I think that speaks a little bit as to the type of players that you're maybe able to get at LSU versus Ole Miss. But it's not a money thing. It's just easier to recruit. Louisiana has a much better talent base to recruit from. It's easier to recruit there. Mm-hmm. I think if Lane looked at that and realized, it's always going to be really hard for me. And Saban said this on game day where it's like, you have to go heavily into the portal. I mean, Trinidad Chambliss was playing at Ferris State last year, for heaven's sake.
Yeah.
That's the quarterback that you've got. And not that, they had Jackson Dart before. I mean, listen, you can get guys, but it's just harder to consistently get the guys that you ultimately need.
I'm going to set the over-under at 7.5. I want you guys to tell me over-under. How many players from Ole Miss transfer to LSU after the season? Over-under 7.5.
I don't. Now, without knowing, their current roster, I'm not sure how many guys he'll go after. When you start looking at that, they've got a pretty good class. I'll take the under on that.
I'd say under, but it's close.
I think about 7.
I mean, he's lived in the portal at Ole Miss.
Yeah.
So I could see. I don't know though. I mean, if you stay in house, which they have done with just elevating Pete Golding, I can't imagine a bunch of guys will be looking to bail. Especially too, I don't know. I don't know. The portal, I never really know what to make of it, but. If you're a good player at Ole Miss and you're in your junior or senior year and you have 1 year of eligibility left, why not just play there 1 more year and then go to the NFL?
Because I wonder how much Ole Miss is where they are because it's Lane and not the next guy.
I understand.
You know what I mean?
I think that's completely fair. Yeah. I mean, it's not like Ole Miss is this
they weren't
rich history, tradition, college football, blue blood.
Right.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
Okay, over under 3.5 years, Kiffin's at LSU.
Over.
I'll take the over.
You'll both take the over on that one.
Yeah, you go 4.5, 5 like that.
Kelly just did. Well, did he hit the over on 3.5? He might have hit it right on the nose there.
Yeah, it might have been right there, I think, yes.
This was his 4th year there.
Yeah.
Kiffin
he'll be there for.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is he there longer than that? I don't know.
I don't know about that either. And that's the thing where you
Do you think that's his decision or their decision?
Yep,
Bob?
I do. Yes.
Which one?
Yeah, exactly. I think you nailed it.
The argument is, this is, you want to take it to the Big Ten. That was Kurt Signetti basically saying, I'm not leaving Indiana to go to Penn State.
Does Penn State regret what they did now?
Firing James Franklin?
I think it's probably getting pretty close.
I think they had to at that point, but.
You think they had to fire him there?
The loss in Northwestern was bad.
It was bad, yes.
It was bad.
But I said before, Bob, that I felt like the Penn State decision to fire Franklin did was like when Ohio State fired Earl Bruce. After a few losses, a bunch of years where they didn't win big games. They beat Michigan, yes, but didn't play for a national championship kind of thing. And then he has a losing streak in season, and they say, okay, you're fired.
Yeah.
And I wonder if Penn State, looking at all the coaches have signed contracts to stay where they're at, Lee at Vanderbilt, Cignetti in Indiana, Rule, dodge a bullet there. Rule at Nebraska, though. But I'm saying all those guys that stayed on where they are. And now Penn State said, okay, we won't get Kiffin. We won't get any of these other guys just sign contracts. But Fitzgerald's at Michigan State. What are we going to do?
Yeah. I mean, it's real. I think they have an idea, but, you're going to swing big. But this is the first time, this whole coaching carousel, for this to all happen, the day after. This is NFL style, happening the day after this. But what's unique is nobody can get hired, at least from other teams, until they're done playing. Whereas in this situation, it's a much, much, much different paradigm that you're living in, where you've got guys going, moving left and right. You've got the high school signing day that's in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much that needs to get done, and that's why it's just ridiculous with the timeline. And they've got to get this calendar figured out and straightened out, because you're going to have then the portal opening up while teams are still playing in the college football playoff.
They can fix the calendar whenever they want, right, Bob? It's not like it's a thing where it's for 2 years it'll be this way, for 3 years.
They can change it every year. They can
right
change
now if
it,
they want to.
Yeah, they could change it right after the season, and I would advise that they do. The thing is, a lot of the coaches, they just look at it selfishly. Well, we need the players here, and we want this and that, and then then they want to complain. Well, now look at what's going on, and you can't do this. It looks bad. And you can't have it both ways. You made the choices. You want this because you want to get your transfer portal guys on campus quicker, but in doing that, it's completely just eroded the fabric of everything else about college football.
I'm going to ask you a question, Bob, and this will be my second dumb question of the day. If you're Penn State, do you call Dion and just ask?
No. I don't know if Dion's going to coach at Colorado.
Might not. I'm saying, but would you just make the call, though?
No.
Just say, you know what? I'm curious what you think about this job, and would you consider it? I'm not saying it'd be great.
It'd be entertaining.
Answer is no.
I don't know who Penn State's
That, of all the things that you've said,
that's the dumbest. No, but I'm not.
That's coming in.
I'm not defending it, Bob. I'm just saying that, if you look at Penn State, though, okay, then who's Penn State going to hire? They won't be able to hire a big name, successful head coach at a current school.
Why not?
Who? Okay, I'm saying who? Lincoln Riley?
I'm not fully out that Kalen DeBoer is going to stay, and I'm not
really.
Going to stay at Alabama.
I can't believe he would leave Alabama for Penn State. I'd be shocked by that.
Why?
Because it's Alabama.
Exactly.
And because it's Penn State. Penn State's not.
But it's a different age, man. Imagine somebody 3 years ago telling you Indiana is going to hire the best football coach they have ever had, bar none, and then that guy's going to stay at Indiana over Penn State. I mean, that would have been absolutely absurd to think about.
It would have been. You're right, yeah.
I'm not fully convinced that he's going to stay there. I'm telling you.
So you think that he could leave for Penn State? Is Penn State the only job he could leave for?
I don't know. I don't know what he values in his life, but I have heard from people down there that he does not necessarily enjoy, as much as he never says anything publicly because he's smart.
Mm-hmm.
Having the omnipresence of Nick Saban is brutal for anybody.
Sure.
And they're going to compare you to the last 15 years. In the last 15 years, it is impossible to recreate those years now, really anywhere.
Yeah.
But at Alabama included. So that is the scale that you're measured against. They're playing in the SEC championship game.
I know that they're playing there,
and people still aren't happy.
I know.
So that's why. That's the answer.
But it's
because you're not Nick Saban.
Isn't it easier to recruit and win at Alabama than at Penn State?
But recruit and win to what? You're playing in the SEC championship game and people still aren't happy.
Yeah.
You play in the national championship game and you lose. People still aren't going to be happy because part of it is you're not winning and losing the way that they want you to or the way that you historically have. Yeah. So that's why you leave. And you go take another job that, maybe is at a tick down, but I think you can win a national championship at Penn State. You have the right coach there and you have the right, you're able to recruit. They're going to have resources.
They're also, and I'm not saying he should make this decision based off the next 2 years, obviously, but he's also getting ready, or whoever's going to be coaching at Penn State, is getting ready to go 2 years without having to play Ohio State.
Yeah.
I'm not, like I said, don't get me wrong, that's going to swing right back around. You're going to play the Buckeyes then.
But you don't play them every year anymore.
But you don't play them every year anymore. And frankly, if James Franklin didn't have to play Ohio State every single year like he did for the last decade, he might still be the head coach there.
Yeah. I mean, that's real.
I mean, heck, if JT Barrett throws one more incomplete pass and Saquon Barkley picks up another first down, Franklin might still be the coach there because
it was the margins, man.
It's not like he was terribly far off from beating the Buckeyes for a few years there.
They lost close ones.
Yeah.
They lost close ones.
Speaking of resources, yeah.
Well, do you need a bank that truly values local business in this town, the opportunity to work alongside them as partners, whether you're a small business or a large operation? Riverside Bank of Dublin has the right tools for the job. Riverside Bank of Dublin has the experience working right here in Central Ohio. They understand the business climate in our area and will help you reach your goals, whether you need an SBA loan to get your business off the ground, a line of credit to keep your business running smoothly, or equipment financing to get your business up to scale. Riverside Bank will tailor a solution that fits your needs. Visit them at riverside.bank or stop in to get to know them in person at 6300 France Road. Riverside Bank of Dublin, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Well done, as always, General. Coming next, always got juice. Morning juice.
Looking for Black Friday truck deals? Then head to Germain Toyota. Right now, the savings are straight up and the offers are real. Right now, drive home a 2025 Tacoma with 0% financing up to 48 months with every vehicle sold at MSRP and 20% down. No trade required, or step up to the power of a 2025 or 2026 Tundra. Also 0% financing for up to 72 months. No gimmicks, no games. MSRP pricing and 20% down. No trade needed. 0% Black Friday savings at Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. Green & Sons has all the Kubotas you need to tackle your land and come out a winner. They have zero-turn skid steers, tractors from 18 to 171 horsepower, and also utility vehicles. My favorite is my RTV Sidekick. The best thing about Green & Sons is they've been family-owned and operated since 1970, and you will love dealing with the Green family and their winning team. Do what I did and check out Green & Sons located in Mount Sterling and Marysville, or online at greenandsons.com for all your Kubota needs.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
Nathan has taught me to embrace the moment. Age-wise, I'm in my late 60s. I'm old enough to be his grandfather. Will he be embarrassed to acknowledge me as his dad? I think the most important thing we can do is let them know that they're safe, that they're valued and cared for and loved, and that they're important.
I knew I wanted to be adopted by him because of how he taught me to be the person who I am today. And it's coming from a dad that didn't expect to become a dad. And I feel very proud to be a son.
That was what he needed, and he was what I needed. Every day is full of new opportunities. That's what it's been about, realizing the simple things that it takes to make such a huge difference in these kids' lives.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care at adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by Adopt U.S. Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Hey there, Jane Lynch here. You want to hear something funny? Too bad. You want to hear something uplifting that will inspire you? Good. Because today, I want to talk to you about Direct Relief, a humanitarian organization that does seriously good work when it counts. Fires, hurricanes, earthquakes. When disaster strikes, Direct Relief immediately shows up with medicines, medical supplies, and everything doctors and nurses need to save lives. Let's ship her out! Every day across the United States and around the world, they're making an enormous difference. If someone needs help, Direct Relief helps. No politics, no red tape. Hey, what you doing over there?
Oh, I'm packing insulin for kids with diabetes.
See, every box here is literally a lifeline for someone in critical need. So check them out at directrelief.org. You might just bring a smile to someone's face.
Bobby is the all-American male. Tito pulled a hammy getting his mail. This is Morning Juice.
Get breaking news here. Wait, Bodie, somebody in the chat mentioned this about AR's comments. He basically, Bob, I saw the clip. I don't know when it was from, but Bodie's now saying it might be a year ago.
It was. No,
it was
might
a year
be.
ago.
It was.
Okay. Where he basically said, stop crossing out the N's, stop saying they're TTUN, they're Michigan, respect. I'm paraphrasing here, but do that because we haven't beaten them. show that respect. And he caught a lot of flack for that. Somehow it pops back up now recently. And I was fine with AR up until, like, I agree with the thing. I'm done with the crossing out the M's thing is stupid for me. That's fine. I'm sorry if I offend you guys, but I don't want the crossing out the M's thing and calling them TTUN, not calling them Michigan, whatever. That stuff's all stupid to me. But then he said something like, until you beat them, you can't do that stuff. And he caught a lot of flack for that on social media.
I think his greater point was just go win the damn game. Stop doing the whole countdown of every second. Stop saying their name. Blah, blah, blah. You lost 4 years in a row. Go win.
Yeah.
Which is what they did. Yeah. It was just very weird. He literally said that was
a year ago. You said
from the Monday after the game last year. And because I saw it too, because I saw it on Awful Announcing, and I was like, did AR go on another?
Announcing picked it up?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's where I saw it from. And I was like, God, did he go on another rant about this? It didn't seem like Rothman to double down on this, especially before the game. If they had lost again on Saturday, maybe. But I have no clue how that got picked back up.
Yeah, I don't know how.
A year later, that wasn't even a month ago or 2 months ago or August. That was literally last year.
Look, the gist of what he said, I've said it before, Bob. I don't understand the crossing out the M's. I don't understand not calling them Michigan. I don't all that stuff. You never heard Batman going around saying, "Hey, that clown guy, he was the Joker." Batman called him the Joker.
Is that your analogy?
Guy. Yes, that's
really the analogy you went with,
Bob. Listen. If Michigan was the Mad Hatter from the old Batman series, they wouldn't get the same kind of respect. The Joker got respect like Michigan should get respect. I know it's not.
It's not about the money.
It's not.
It's about sending
respect.
A message.
Yes, that's what it is. It's exactly what it is. So, Bob, I'm saying, though, I'm fine. That's why I'm saying, don't TTUN. You never saw Batman go on TV and say, "Oh, that clown guy." You never saw it. It was the Joker. Always Joker.
These people.
You people.
Well,
you people have no idea how to defend a country.
Right.
Well, the thing is, the people like Indiana's, AR's a
Indiana guy,
Indiana fan. What do you expect? I'm like, he's not an Indiana fan. He's an Indiana alum. There's a difference.
He's got Illinois. He's got his.
He went there. I get it, and he's happy that they're good. That had nothing to do with any of that, though.
No.
Listen, all the M stuff and everything. The crossing out the M's, they've done that for a long time.
I know, Bob.
What does that bother you, Jeff? How does that impact your life?
I think we're bigger than that.
Who is we?
Society. Us. Buckeye Nation.
Charlie Murphy's not.
Yes, us people. We
play by my own rules.
I'm just saying, though, Bob.
His eyelids was trembling because,
That's fine.
That's the only thing that can move.
Bob, I don't think it makes sense.
Tress, they'd cross out the M's. That's something that everybody's done around campus for a long time.
I know.
Tress called him Michigan, and he's like, I didn't feel the need to, wasn't scared of him or do anything else. And we had a countdown clock. And we would put, they would do the helmets and tape them up for practice.
That's respectful.
But that was kind of all that we did. Urban did a lot of other things and all kinds of stuff. And I think Ryan's kind of migrated away from that because it's not really his personality. You've got to coach to your personality of what you are. That's what you've got to, breathe in with that. And so I guess I can go with what's got his juice today.
I can do that, but I'll tell you this first, though, because it's funny. But do you think Cleveland plays in Cincinnati when they play? No, it's Cleveland, Cincinnati. It's what they do. Let's do this.
What's got you juiced?
Sponsored by Billiards Plus. Find your next grill and everything you need for the Master Griller. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Is something wrong there, Bob?
Well, no, because Cleveland and Cincinnati is more like playing for the old Oak and Bucket than it is the game.
I know it is.
So,
I want you to know something, too, by the way. I reached out to the former lead, maybe current, sounds like they're broken up, the dead Schembechlers. Bo Biafra is his name, to be part of that thing we did the videos last week. And he didn't do it because he couldn't find his Woody outfit. It was in storage somewhere, or he would have done the video part of it. But I would love to have him on. Maybe we'll get some kind of video from him this week. We'll see.
Yeah, so it's got me juiced. So in a negative way, my 3 boys and wife are all sick. They're not doing well at the house right now. We'll see if they're bouncing back today at all, how long the flu bug hits them. Hopefully not too long, and hopefully, I can avoid that thing and stay upright, stay healthy here throughout this week. But Juice and my son's team, he didn't get a chance to play. They lost in 4 overtimes to Olentangy Berlin on Sunday. It was good. A lot of buzzer beaters being hit for some 6th grade hoops.
When they get there at that point, isn't it like first team to score wins?
No, they don't do Sunday. Someone said that. Someone brought that up. I guess this is bad.
I've seen it in 3rd grade, 4th grade tiebreakers.
It's ridiculous.
Okay.
That's what they do in these tournaments just to keep it moving. They do 3 minutes and then it's 1 minute overtimes after that. Sudden death. I looked at someone brought that up. Like, what is this? Backyard basketball? Next point wins? Like, get out of here. So that was obviously not great, but they played really hard. But Saturday was kind of it. Coming off of the Thanksgiving holiday, Friday was remarkable. We almost had like 2 Saturdays because there was so much good football on Friday. Bled right into Saturday. Yep. And, there was a little bit of anxiety. I watched the first half by myself at my house, and I was just, once I saw that happen, watched the score, win the middle 8, you felt good about where everything was going, but just so happy for Ryan and the players, Matt Patricia, everybody that, came here, put so much into this and what they were able to do and coming away with a victory. I thought Ryan's comments at the end, we're going to win with, class and humility. It says a lot about him as a man and how he's evolved and developed as a head coach. And it was incredibly proud to be a Buckeye on Saturday and just getting a chance to be around those guys a little bit and know them and all the work that they put in and to see that come to fruition and listen to Sonny Styles talk about that and how much it meant to him and Lorenzo just being from here and finally getting a chance to get that victory was very, very special. So that's got me juiced today. Bodie, what Schlegel's got to say?
When I slammed that guy, I was a champion wrestler, man. It's not like I'm trying to hurt that guy. I lateral dropped him. I didn't try to bury him through the turf. His head was never exposed. Veins were popping out. Yes, you can't lateral drop somebody softly, but yet you can also do it to where you're not going to hurt them.
Sounds like Schlegs is basically saying it was a good, clean hit. No targeting there on that. What's got me juiced today, guys? Nice little Monday here, Reaction Monday. Like you said, Bob, was a great weekend of football, even going all the way back to Thursday. Honestly, all 3 Thursday games were pretty good. Cincinnati picking up a pretty big win there. All of a sudden, only 2 games out of the AFC North. Sure, why not? That division, kind of a clunker there this year for you, Tito. But hey, good news, you're still tied atop of the division for your
They're not in the
Pittsburgh
playoffs right
Steelers
now.
there. Is Baltimore technically ahead of them in the tiebreaker there?
Yeah, the Steelers would. The Steelers, the Bills, the Chiefs, the Lions all would miss the play. Bills might be in, but the Steelers, Chiefs, Lions would miss all the playoffs.
Chiefs. Yeah. Well, hey, man. Not just anybody can come into Arlington and beat the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. Certainly not Patty Mahomes.
No.
What also has me juiced, guys, maybe in a negative way, still wearing off the Saturday night sleep effects. I mentioned this earlier. I went to bed. It was probably a 2:15. I was so tired literally when the game kicked off at 10:30 on Saturday night. I was sitting there just hanging out on the couch watching the game. I was like, I got to get up and walk around a little bit and turn some lights on or else I'm going to fall asleep here. I slept until 10 o'clock yesterday morning. That's the longest I've slept in a long time. So maybe we can kick Stanford back out of the ACC. Don't need to play them at 10:30 anymore on Saturday nights. Don't really need to hear Brock Osweiler ever call a Notre Dame game again either. That guy's not very good at his job.
The Brockweiler?
He just we spent
the wrong guy got stabbed.
We spent. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying he can call lesser games. We spent 15 minutes talking about Andrew Luck and Stanford's, future program during the game. And then, of course, it turned into a Miami love fest, and that got annoying. So, anyway, that has me juiced. Off tomorrow, so I'll catch up on sleep there. Then be back with you guys on Wednesday. So
set your alarm Wednesday morning. Make sure it's going there, Bodie. Bob, here's my idea for next week. All the flack I'm catching in the chat about this. Next, this is very man and bonish or man and Timmy, whatever you want to say now. But I say we do a show next year, Michigan week, provided we're all still here. And we do the show, and none of us
still here as in alive or
yes. Either way. But I'm saying we do a show where we never use the word M.
The letter M or the word?
The letter M.
Okay.
So we'll say it's a great
clarification.
Thank you. It's a great event on the Saturday after Thanksgiving. There, I did not use one there. But we can't call it the game. We can't call them Michigan. We can't say it's a massive event. But we'll go a whole show without, we'll specifically, the content might suck. We will not use the word
Seems exhausting.
It does. So at Patricia will be the DC, hopefully, in that game, right?
I guess that's what we'd be doing.
That's what we're doing. At
Sounds
Patricia.
pretty terrible.
Well, I'm saying people want to do that, though. If they want to take this tradition to the next level, Bob.
Is that what takes it to the next level?
I think that does. If we do that.
You could take it to the limit.
Exactly.
One more time.
We can do that. Yes, we could totally do that. So we will tease the Ann and T show at 3 o'clock here on the Fan. Not Man and Timmy.
Oh.
Ann and T. We'll do that. I just
lost
okay.
me already.
I know. That's fine. I did say the word M. I apologize. Thank you, Phil. What's got me juiced? Great weekend. Great weekend of football. Other than Pittsburgh lost, which I didn't really see them winning anyway, but yeah, I've lost faith in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, if they can, you got to give me Baltimore coming up here this week, which is huge for them at Baltimore. But it's not going to end well. Let's just do that. It will not end well for Pittsburgh. I can almost assure you of that. But the Ohio State game, yes. And seeing the clip afterwards when Patricia hugs Day, and to see Day get his picture with his son out there on the field.
That was pretty cool. Him and RJ getting the picture up there together.
Have you even talked to Day have you texted him anything since the game?
Man, listen, these guys have a lot going on. I'll see him over there today and this week. They don't need a text from me.
I didn't like if you just.
It's nice because the last 4 years, Ryan and I have talked after the game.
Yeah.
And there wasn't a need to talk today after the game, which was good.
Yes, you're right. That is good. Yeah. Yeah.
When I say talk, it wasn't like I'm going in there and just having a conversation. No, it was just a conversation about what happens. It's mostly
sit down, Ryan.
a support.
You're like Billy Bean going to see Art Howe.
It's mostly a support conversation and just like talking through things and being cathartic and just really being an ear to listen and what needs to go on. So I'm incredibly happy for Ryan and everything that they did.
Do you think there will be a show on these here airwaves today where they call it Fire Ryan Day because they didn't win by more than 27?
I don't know. I think, listen, he held it back. They wanted to win in a certain way, and he went out there and did that.
Yes, he did. It was a lot of fun. I love seeing that. And I'm very, I've had a very minimal interactions with Ryan Day. But I was very happy for him and his family after all they went through for the last 4 years and what they went through a year ago at this time to get that win over Michigan was huge, Bob. Does it do something different for you being an alum?
I'm just happy that everybody else is happy. I'm happy to see those guys go out there and have success. Happy to see Ryan. I know what it feels like to lose that game, and I know what it feels like to win it. And it feels a heck of a lot better to win. And so it's not that I live vicariously through the players and everything. I am very relieved and happy for them. I enjoy doing this job when things are going well. Some people like it because they want to just complain and yell, and they're very negative people. That's never been my style. So I'm happy that they had that type of success, and I think this could possibly lead to a lot more success here over the next couple weeks, next coming month and a half.
Did a great hour and 40 minutes, boys. Thank you so much, Bodie. Appreciate it. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you to Bill Bender, all the chatters. We appreciate it. Back tomorrow.